Today we are going to talk about Zoom fatigue. We can all relate. Everybody's been working on Zoom or Teams or whatever video conference thing you're using, and we are all getting terribly fed up. So why do you feel more tired? Well, if you think about it, when you're in a regular meeting and you're sat with people, you're not intently looking at them. And there's a funny thing on Zoom calls where the idea that you've got to completely engage eye contact and stare at a person feels like it's the only way they know you're concentrating. It's not real life. It really isn't. And that makes us feel much more tired when we're constantly looking at the screen, and we can lose focus. And having to really pay attention and look like you're paying attention is exhausting. And also, let's be serious. You do send a text, put your head down, do the odd email. Everybody does it sometimes. Something gets your attention. So trying to maintain focus on a Zoom call is very difficult. When in a meeting, you might suddenly have a quick chat with someone next to you, or you might pop out to use the bathroom. But on Zoom, all these things feel impossible. So how can we avoid Zoom fatigue? Avoid multitasking. I know it's hard, but try not to send a text, write an email, pop down with your head writing something else. Focus on the task in hand. It's okay to glance away, but just try not to do 2 or 3 things at the same time. And build in breaks, and breaks that are longer than the break you might have had in the office. So in the office, 5 minutes to go and get a cup of tea or walk to the bathroom seemed okay. With Zoom, you need a bit longer. Get up and move. Go for a walk, 15, 20 minutes if you can. Have that break between those meetings to give yourself a rest. And make socials optional. So if you've got Zoom socials, whether it's a work social or it's with your family, just try and make them optional, because then if you feel up to it and you're not too exhausted, great, jump on that social. But you want the option of saying, you know what, I'm just knackered. I'm really knackered. And think about which meetings can be moved to a phone call. Maybe you can walk the dog and talk on the phone at the same time, or do a social distancing walk, where you can walk together in the park. Or can you just send an email? Does it have to be a Zoom chat? What can you take off Zoom? And finally, it's okay not to have your video on. I think certainly on the calls I've been having recently, more people are saying, you know what, I just don't want my video on today. We are exhausted by being on screen. So look after yourself and avoid that Zoom fatigue.